Welcome to Otome Challenge with Brandon and Michelle. This week, we continue our journey through sweet views at your side. Like, comment, and subscribe. Michelle, welcome back. Welcome back to the Otomes of life.
Yeah.
I'm in a great mood because I've just seen Suicide Squad. Great movie, bringing lots of testosterone to this discussion about Otome, which I think helps the vibe.
I'm in such a great mood. Made me play this route that I hate.
Mitarashi, I've made the picture for the thumbnail, Michelle, which I'm so happy you appreciated when I showed it to you. We're doing it for Mitarashi.
Yeah.
Overall, okay. Well, first I'll start with this. I was told to correct a couple things
From who?
From our biggest fan, Jess.
Okay.
Who had some big problems with the last stream, mostly on me. It's not Sake. This is not the protagonist's name. It's not Sake. It's Saki.
Yeah, it is spelled with an I.
But I think Sake was on the brain because I was just thinking, how can I get through this? And I was thinking maybe alcohol. I don't know. Like it's Saki. So if I say Sake, I mean Saki. And I will not address this mistake ever again because I will make this mistake again.
Okay.
And the other thing is, unfortunately, I had to ditch our not sponsor of the week last week, Michelle. Omaha Steaks did not call me. They are not interested in the sponsorship. But don't worry, our not sponsor of this week, I have a feeling they'll be calling back after I give them this great promotion.
Yeah, sure.
Free promotion, hashtag free ad. Not
Don't
really
say
an
that.
ad.
People are gonna ask us to advertise their stuff.
Sell out. You know what? If they call me, I will legit sponsor them. And I guess you don't get a say in that because I've apparently already decided. So I'm sorry. So anyway, sweet views. This week is an improvement from last week. I'll just say that up front. I was in a better mood coming out of this week than I was last week. We're past the introduction. We're past the BS. We're past getting to know the boys. We are in the thick of this, and we are running.
No, you're not. You're not in the thick of it.
I thought this felt like, okay, we're in the flow. We're past the intro. We're in the flow. We're getting some lore now. We're getting some background lore. Things are going on in the background. We got some intrigue. We got some drama. So I'm pumped.
This is like that tells you the least about the mystery, so you're truly not in the thick of it.
Hey, I you know what? It worked for me. So whatever they did, it got me excited.
I mean, I'm glad that you like it better than the first thing.
I think it was just too slow. I think it was too much introduction, just introduction, and nothing really happened. So, but this, interesting.
Say a lot of things happened actually.
Well, I must have forgot. Again, it was 3 weeks between playing and recording that. And I'm coming right off the playthrough. I only played this a couple days ago. So hopefully this is a little fresher. I appreciate it more now. We'll start off with everybody waking up for breakfast. Shadow, the knight in shining armor that he is.
God, he sucks.
The intelligent being that he is. Actually does have a smart thing to say here. He suggests exchanging phone numbers, which I'm questioning the intelligence of our villain, because you lock us up in here and tell us we can't communicate with anyone in the outside world, but you give us cell phones? And you let us keep our cell phones?
I mean, we're a teenage girl. We have to text, you know?
Well, that's a good thing to say because it makes a point that Saki... See, I've already corrected myself from Saki. Saki sucks at using her phone. She's like fiddling around with this thing. She doesn't know how to put in numbers.
That is like a bizarrely common Otome game protagonist trait where they're like, don't know anything about video games, don't know anything about how to use their own fucking cell phone, like just bad with technology in general. I don't know why that's such a popular trope, considering that like the protagonist is supposed to be bland enough that whoever's playing can like imprint on them. And I would imagine that most people who play video games know the basics of a cell phone.
And I think by the time this came out, wasn't iPhones a thing? So I don't think they specify what kind of phone they're using, but
yeah,
all I can do is blame I blame Apple phones for this. She must have an
Well,
Apple.
this is also Japan where they have those like, really high-tech flip phones.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. Wakasa, who didn't completely peeve me, immediately decides to peeve me. Sees her struggling with this phone and just grabs it out of her hand. Just like, give me that.
Yeah.
Makes the comment to her, "Are you sure that you're a high school girl?"
Yeah.
And then proceeds to put the number in. So I'm like, Wakasa going full heel right off the bat. Immediately, I guess I did drag on Wakasa a little bit in the last session, but, he wasn't Arabe, but he quickly jumped the ladder to the Arabe level with this. Really, that's it. They talk about a bunch of nonsense. None of it's important other than what I just said. The boat docks. Hogstein, he gets on I think he gets on like a television screen. Is like, "Oh, to this place. We're going to Racing Square," which this theme I was impressed by. Some cool background designs, some decent, setting. It's an Alice in Wonderland Mario Kart clone called Alice Kart Grand Prix, which I like some Mario Kart, so I'm down with the kart thing. They actually use the Alice in Wonderland setting a little bit to give it some flavor. I was actually impressed. We're not in a corridor anymore like we were the entire time in the last session. It's an open area. You see the cart. You see the carts. You see the Alice theming all around. Great. More of this, please. No generic hallways and corridors. Like we had last time. Kuda says,
Okay.
Kuda, go ahead.
I just have a prediction.
Uh-huh.
Your favorite zone, like in the park, is going to be one full of corridors. I'm just going to make that call right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? I hope the game proves me wrong. I hope the game makes me backtrack on something I've said, because that means
they're not bland corridors, but they are corridors, is all I'll say.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this. This one gave me hope. Now I'm looking forward to where they go, because they've proven they can do something other than a hallway, which is great. Kuta, the video game nerd, the straight jacket kid, says it's a hit with the casuals. This isn't a hardcore gamers game. This is what us casuals like to play.
He's not wrong.
I like me some Mario Kart.
Yeah,
well, I'm
so do
offended.
I.
A little bit offended here. I'm like, well, thank you, Kuda. We can't have a little fun every now and then with these casual games.
Hey, I'm a self-proclaimed casual. I love me some Mario Kart.
I would argue Otome is not a casual style of game. I would argue casual does not play Otome games.
Yeah, I suppose.
I would argue most hardcore players don't play Otome games. This is like another level.
Yeah, Otome is its own category. People who play Otome games are like referred to as the Armada.
What does this come from?
The Otome Armada.
I've never even heard of it. All right, I guess I'll have to play that sometime.
No. It's what you can't play it. It's what we call ourselves. People who play Otome games.
I thought. Oh man. I don't get it. I don't get this, Michelle. I don't get it. Anyway,
yeah.
This pig says that winners get a seat at the tea party. So the tea party, the famous tea party scene with the Mad Hatter and the hair is involved. And apparently, not only are we playing a Mario Party clone, or Mario Kart clone, we are playing a Double Dash clone, because we're driving in pairs. So there are 8 carts, all double-seaters except for one. And because there's 7 of us, one of us has to drive solo. One person gets a pedal, one person gets the steering wheel. So we have to split off into pairs. And that's neat. But the other 4 carts are driven by the Piglets, which is the army of Count Hogstein. So I'm sitting here, I'm reading this, and I'm rubbing my hands together, metaphorically, and I'm going, yeah, some fodder. We're going to kill some piglets on this one. We're going to fire some shells.
Why do you want to kill them?
They're evil! They work for the bad guy! They work for the bad guy!
Has it? Oh, do you not know yet?
Apparently not. Do I not know? Am I not supposed to?
Okay. We'll
Oh,
see.
okay. We got a little backstory to get to. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I forgot something. But okay, I don't really care. I don't have any attachment to these guys anyway, so I'd kill the piglets. I don't care. It's a video game. Um, Mitarashi is repeatedly commenting as we're observing these karts that he's very good at kart racing, and I don't know why. I don't know if this chapter ever explained it, or if I missed it, or
Okay,
didn't pick the right choice.
I think this might be an interesting time to reveal sort of what was going through my head the first time I played this game,
Uh-huh.
and what I thought Mitarashi's route was going to be like, but turned out to not be. So when I say this, realize it's not what happens.
Uh-huh.
So Mitarashi has a lot of qualities, including being good at games that are popular with children, that made me think initially when playing, oh, so his twist is going to be that like being an escort is like his night job, but his day job is that he's like a teacher or something.
Really? Okay.
That's what I was like convinced was going to happen as I played through it the first time, and then they're like, no.
No. You have you say you don't like Mitarashi, but you have more faith in Mitarashi than I do.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, he makes comments throughout this section that he's really good at kart racing, so he should be like one of the winners or something. And I'm just like, why? They never
Why
go into
is
it.
he? Why?
They
I
never
don't.
go in. They never go into it. At least in this part of the game, they figure out that someone has to drive by themselves, and they figure out that the person that wins there, basically is at a disadvantage for the tea party. So the tea party is the final puzzle of this section. So if the person who is by themselves wins, then that's one less brain to work through whatever puzzle is there at the end. So they're like, okay, who sucks the most? And Hirabe honestly raises his hand, says, yes, I suck. I volunteer as tribute. I want to go by myself because I suck. So, good. He's honest. I appreciate honesty from the worst character in the game.
I love him.
Arabe, as a reminder, being the fortune teller guy with no personality or anything.
Oh, you know what? I was mixing up his name. Arabe is actually one that I hate.
Yes, I think you did say you hated him last time.
Yeah.
I think I wrote that down. We get a choice to help decide the grouping, which I hated. This part I hated because I had no way of knowing. I wanted to be with Mitarashi because that's my boy. That's
yeah, but
the
you
boy.
can't.
It's just rock, paper, scissors. There's no hint as to how this is going to go.
And there's no scenario in which you can ride with him.
Oh, really? So I said rock. Well, that helps me feel better about this. I said rock, so I get stuck with Shadow. I'm immediately pissed. I'm like, Rick,
this thing, when you ride with Shadow, it's my favorite fucking portrait in the game because it looks so bad.
Oh, I'm trying to remember it now.
When like you're in the cart and then Shadow's out of the cart and he has like this look on his face.
I'm gonna have to look that up after this.
It's so funny.
I didn't notice any bad because I was trying to keep a lookout for bad art in this game, and I must have missed that one. I must have just bounced through it real quick or something. I'm stuck with Shadow. Miyoshe and Shirabe are together. Miyoshe is the gamer.
Yeah.
Shirabe is the old dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Wakasa, the newly crowned jerk of this session, is with Mitarashi. So, dang. I get the gas pedal, Shadow the wheel.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking at this point, this should be hard for us to win because we're going to be talking back and forth, and I guess he's going to be like, all right, pedal to the metal, lay off, pedal to the metal, lay off, and the time it takes to make that communication and make split-second decisions with the pedal and how much gas to give the cart can't be easy, so I'm immediately calling BS at success with a pair. I'm worried that Urabe is going to win based on that technicality. So I'm bracing myself for failure here. Saki makes the comment, he seems like a good guy, talking about Shadow. He seems like a good guy. I think I can trust him. And I go, bullshit.
Why though?
Bullshit. Because we just trashed him in the last session for calling me a girl and saying I'm incompetent, and that was like one of the bomb like exploding on somebody. So why are you
Yeah.
suddenly saying he's a good guy?
I think that's just that Otome bullshit where you're supposed to see the best in everyone, even though they don't always deserve it.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I was a little bit of inconsistency there.
Although I do have a confession.
Uh-oh.
I did replay his route last night.
The whole thing?
You know, yeah.
In
It's
one
not a
night?
it's not a long game.
It felt
It
like forever.
it's very easy for me to one-shot Otome routes,
Uh-huh.
especially when I've already played them before.
Uh-huh.
I don't hate him as much as I used to now that his route is fresh in my mind.
I thought about this, and I wasn't going to mention it, but I will mention it since you kind of brought it up. Playing other routes, I've thought about streaming the other routes in like New Game Plus and
You
like
should,
uploading it
because
in between seasons, quote unquote seasons.
absolutely.
So
And
yeah,
you're gonna want to. I'm not sure if I should recommend that you play the New Game Plus route, but you should definitely play a different of the base routes.
well, I thought about it. And I might do that. We'll see. Just
It's
to
a very short
go
game.
in between it. I mean, yeah, and I assume there's a lot of similar text because I've noticed there's like a skip already read feature. So
Yeah.
like I can just skip through the bullshit that I've already read. So that
Yep,
might
yep,
make it.
yep.
I think the other reason this feels like a really long game is this was 8 pages of notes this week that I took.
Yeah, if you're not taking notes, you can breeze through this.
So yeah, I think normally if I was playing this game, I would just be like, "Shut up," and like, but now I'm like taking note of everything that they're saying.
Yeah.
This is where I point out Shadow is yelling, put the pedal to the metal and hold back as they're turning around corners and stuff. And I'm like, this wouldn't work. Not like this. Saki would have to have a brain and be able to make this decision herself. She's not, though. She's being told what to do. She has no self-thought during this whole thing, other than coming up shortly. I wrote down, I guess no one remembered this was a video game and didn't think about using weapons or touching the item blocks. So they're driving around this course and Shadow's treating it like a standard kart race. And I'm like, this is a video game. You should have known there would be item blocks and weapons and crazy
this man,
stuff.
though.
He's what?
I don't think this man plays video games, though.
Well, Miyoshi, though, could speak up and be like, hey, this game's for casuals, but it's got, like, blue shells and shit that's really cheap, and, like, whoever's in last is going to inevitably be in first by the end of this, and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
nobody was smart and thought to communicate this or think about this. So they figure out, I think they see one of the piglets. I think one of the piglets, like, hits a rocket on one of them or something. By the way, there's buttons on the panel in front of Saki that says like rockets, oil, missiles, whatever. That's supposed to be. I guess she has control over the items.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow makes it a point to only want to use boosts after they talk about the items because other items are dangerous to the other racers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's noble, but all I was thinking is, please give me a choice to shell Urabe. I want to kill
nice.
Urabe.
I could get into that.
It gives me a choice after he makes the request to say, don't use boosts. To say, oh, you're right, or, but then we'll lose. And I said, but then we'll lose, because that's the only smart thing to say here.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like that. I don't get the heart bomb. The heart
That's
bomb
okay,
being
because you're not on his route, so.
That's great. So, I was like, good, I don't like you. Near the finish line, we catch up to some piglets and Mitarashi. Mitarashi is in front, I guess, because he is the best for some reason, unexplained reason. Him and Wakasa. Mitarashi's the best. He dumps an oil slick though. Mitarashi don't have the nobility of Shido. Mitarashi don't give a crap. He wants to win.
He sincerely does not. Yeah.
Mitarashi's smart. This is why he's the right boy.
No, he's not.
Mitarashi's using his brain. For once.
I don't think he's ever used his brain.
He takes out the piglets, but we nearly wrecked. We start going out of
Yeah,
control.
he
We're
screwed
about
us
to.
over.
Well, you know what? One of us has to win. We can't just play it safe when there's piglets that are trying to kill us. Somebody has to kill the piglets. He was killing the piglets. That's my stance. I'm sticking to it. We were just in the way. We got in his way.
Okay.
Shadows' fault.
All right. Yeah.
We nearly wrecked. Shadow saves it, and I guess this is when the big ugly scene happens. He's like checking on me and stuff, and yeah, we're all torn up about being wrecked. You know, I think we're questioning in our minds whether this was intentional sabotage by Mitarashi, or if he's just an idiot, or
No, he's
if he
just
had good
dumb.
intentions.
He's never had good intentions.
Obviously,
He's just
this was a smart decision and the correct thing to do, and we were just getting in his way.
Stop. It's yeah.
So they win. They get to go to the tea party. Mitarashi and Wakasa, they win. They get to go to the tea party, the final puzzle. Everyone appears to be mad at Mitarashi though for his behavior because none of us are smart. And I wrote down, if the pigs had won, and this is kind of what Saki tells herself, and I kind of agree with this. If the pigs had won, everyone would have died, because that's the stipulation, is if we don't win the challenge, we die. So Mitarashi sees Goon 1 and Goon 2 from the piglets behind him. He says, oh crap, if they pass me, we all die, so I'll just let 2 of us die for the greater good. You know, I'm willing to be a sacrifice for the greater good. You know, I'm a hero.
Because she's an Otome game protagonist and with literally no sense of self-preservation. Just gotta die for the party.
Die for the party. You know, a real hero. Shadow, though, he ain't having that. He's butting heads with Mitarashi.
As he should in this scenario. This is like the only time I'm on his side.
Well, he decks Mitarashi decks Shadow. I wrote correctly so. Decks Shadow. Shadow fights back. They're having a big scuffle. I think Shadow like hits him in the face, and Mitarashi decks him in the stomach or something. But they're still fighting. They're evenly matched. At this point, the rock music that they've provided for this game, I call it rock.
It's not good.
Yeah, I write down. I'm realizing now how crappy and generic the butt rock this music is.
Yeah, like most Otome games have slightly better music than this.
Yeah, Shoji Meguro, this is not.
Didn't touch it.
Doesn't come anywhere close. I'm thinking Sonic the Hedgehog levels of butt rock here. And I like Sonic the Hedgehog butt rock. So if you go below that, you messed up.
Maybe you should play 7 Scarlet since it's bootleg Persona.
Ooh.
4 specifically.
This is the one you told me that I should avoid at all costs, though, so now I'm...
No, I hate it, but it is bootleg Persona 4.
You know what? Sure. At this point, I'll do anything. They give me a choice. I can like intervene and stop this horrible tragedy of Mitarashi kicking Shadow's ass.
Did you?
They stop at you 2, or for whatever reason on God's green earth, I can say, Urabe, are you all right?
Like, which is the correct answer.
Which I don't give a shit about Urabe, so I say stop at you 2. Which doesn't work. They're still fighting. It doesn't even like give me like any like fluff text for that choice. They're just like ignoring me and they keep fighting.
Yeah.
But Urabe decides he wants to try to be something. He comes up with the authority that he has and goes, will you please stop fighting? And for some reason, this works. They stop fighting, which pisses me off, because now Urabe looks better than me.
He's never looked better than anyone.
So I'm not, that didn't make me too happy. But remember, I like this section more, apparently. I'm not saying a lot of nice things right now.
Yeah.
The rabbit statue looks like a chocolate bunny from the dollar store, is what I say about we're at the tea parties.
Yeah.
The hair Looks like a cheap chocolate bunny that you can find around
Mhm.
Easter time from a dollar store. The Mad Hatter has a weird face.
Mhm.
His face reminds me of a Titan's face from Attack on Titan. Those really
Yeah.
weird, like, malformed faces that just look like hell.
Mhm.
Shirabe, I guess we've realized our mistake about not trying to explain things we know about topics in hand, decides to tell the Mad Hatter story very quickly because he realizes, oh shit, maybe we should all understand this story before the two idiots take on the puzzle. So he tells the
Yeah.
Mad Hatter story. He doesn't really. He just basically explains they're both crazy and they like tea. I think he mentions the Queen of Hearts though, which I thought I remember it. Maybe I put that in myself because this drives me nuts for this puzzle. Um, the knowledge of the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
So Hogstein, I guess, comes on the TV and he's like, "Okay, you two winners, you get to work on this puzzle with the Mad Hatter and the hair statues, and they got the whole tea party set up, and the rest of you idiots go in the hare's house."
This couldn't more clearly be a trap.
Yeah, it's clearly a trap, and it's at this point now that I have to try to get a sponsor for this show and have our not sponsor of the day.
Uh-huh.
Michelle, when I'm
Okay.
not playing Otome, I like to play good video games. You know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sorry. I had to, though. You know what good video games I like to play on my free time, Michelle?
I don't know. What kind?
You ever heard of Raid Shadow Legends?
No, I have
My,
not.
it's crazy. I've never heard of this either until I pulled it up on the Google Play Store and pulled up the description. Did you know that you can have epic PvP battles in this dark
Are
fantasy
you
gotcha?
are you promoting a shitty mobile game on this
No,
podcast?
of course not, Michelle. Why would I do that? This is a great game, not a shitty game. A great
Say it was called
game.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Let's see what the fuck this bullshit is.
To save the world of Teleria, you'll need to recruit
Oh, absolutely not.
its most legendary warriors from the forces of light and darkness.
It's one of those games that's just an excuse for titty.
It might have titties in it. I don't actually know. I love this game. I played this game a lot.
You have?
Yeah, you have to pay some money to get good stuff. I'm sure, but you know what? That's fair for the quality of this game.
I looked up the Google images for the words Raid Shadow Legends, and all the top results are titty.
No, Michelle. There's no titty. There might be a little titty. I don't know. I don't actually know.
Okay.
But you know what? Go to Raid Shadow Legends, put in a Otome challenge, and you won't get jack shit because we don't actually have a sponsorship. But please, Raid Shadow Legends, I will sponsor. I will gladly be.
I want to make it clear that I'm not knocking the titty, but I like to have some set dressing around the titty.
Raid, we will promote your titty if you give us some money. All right, thank you. That's the nod of the game. There we go. I'm sure that will work.
Yeah.
It's my grand plan. Michelle, that's how we're going to get paid for this.
I don't know that. Okay.
That's the ultimate goal, right? Not for the fun, right? God. Anyway, Otome.
Yeah.
We're in the house, and I think Rob. No, wait, no. I skipped ahead. The door locks behind us as we enter the house. And we're immediately like, this is a trap! Because we look up and the ceiling is like just a spike ceiling. Like some like campy spike ceiling you get in any horror bullshit. And you know, I get to make the choice to say stupidly, the ceiling will crush us because obviously, or hurry up and solve the puzzle, which obviously I should say that because they don't know we're going to die soon. So I yell, hurry up and solve the puzzle. But turns out Mitarashi and Mikasa can't hear us because they've, I guess, soundproofed the house.
Yeah.
And we're locked in, so we have no way except, you know, through this window to gesture at them. I'm thinking to myself, idiots. to help them. Puzzle has a trick question. I think Shirabe points this out. He says, oh, well, first they ask the question, which they figure out is a trick question inside the house. Which, by the way, and I'll keep going back and forth. Hogstein has a TV in this house, and he can just, like, taunt at the people in the house and be like, look, you got two dumbasses outside trying to solve your puzzle. And you know, he's just shit-talking at this point. He says the question is, who is the host of the party? And I think it's Shirabe who says, oh, that's a trick question, because everybody who's a novice in Alice in Wonderland thinks it's the Hatter, because he's introduced here, but it's actually the Hare, because it's the Hare's house.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this point, the whole group shows that they don't have any faith in Mitarashi, which is not fair to Mitarashi.
No, it is fair.
The high level of intelligence that he displayed during that
What
race.
high level of intelligence?
That
man is dumb as hell.
They're all like,
that
oh,
man
God.
is the literal definition of himbo.
Oh, God, it's Mitarashi.
Except he's not kind, so he's not a himbo. He's just dumb and hot.
They're all realizing they're dead at this point. I'm rooting for it at this point, as I think that'd be a fun twist to have a game.
Just lay down and accept death.
Yeah, I think they're ready to. Yeah, Shirabe goes through the whole explanation about how everybody thinks the Mad Hatter's the host, but it's really the Hare. This is where I write down, why don't they just fog up the window with their breath, go like, ha, and like write Hare on the window that they can clearly see. I'm thinking, why don't you just do that? That makes so much sense right now, but nobody's thinking. They're just losing faith in Mitarashi for no reason. And
they have reason. So yeah.
Wakasa, though, thank God we have Wakasa, because he points out that the house has big rabbit ears, hair ears on the top of the house. He's like, wait a second. You know, the gears are turning. He goes, this must be the Hare's house. And if it's the Hare's house, that means he's the host. Mitarashi's like, yeah, that makes sense. Good job, bro. So they figure out that he's the host and that they have to command him. Which I guess is just the next part of the puzzle. There's a pistol in the Hare's hand with a card. Hogstein pops back up on the TV inside the house. It says if the command that they give the Hare is wrong, the pistol will shoot them.
Yeah.
I'm like, good. Maybe Wakasa will put the card. But no, Mitarashi's our hero. He's our brave boy. He's the one that's going to put this card in. They look around the table. They find a ton of playing cards. It's so obvious what the correct card is, because the Queen of Hearts is here. So if you have any knowledge of Alice in Wonderland, which I guess they just don't.
Yeah.
If they have any knowledge of Alice in Wonderland, and maybe that's fair. Maybe it's not common in Japan. I don't really know. Maybe that's why. So I'm not
quite sure either.
I'm not gonna dog it too hard, but I will say Kingdom Hearts has an Alice in Wonderland level. So if that's played in Japan, they should know. But anyway.
Well, that's assuming that everybody in Japan likes Kingdom Hearts.
Well, this is the world with Keiji Inafune, so I'm assuming we're in the real world. So, yeah, like Kingdom Hearts, I guess. I don't know. The gamer should at least know. Yeah, so, you know, they're looking at the playing cards like, which one do I choose? Because there's like a slot in the rabbit's mouth that they have to put the card of the one who commands him in. And I'm like, it's the Queen of Hearts! It's the Queen of Hearts! It's driving me nuts. Wakasa comes up to the window because they're like, what do we do? I'm looking back out.
Come do your best.
Yeah, I get to go look out the window at Wakasa, and I go, choice. I get a choice. I can tell him the answer, or I can say, do your best, son. Go wing it. Obviously, I tell him the answer.
That was the wrong answer.
At the very least, I mouth the answer Queen of Hearts to him. But as soon as I start talking, Hogstein shutters the windows. to the house, so I can't look out anymore. It's like, he's like, I didn't say you could talk to people. I'm like, well, why did you just do that to begin with? Like, I guess he was giving me hope. But so all the stuff, the logic that I was throwing out earlier about fogging the windows and stuff is immediately gone. It wouldn't have worked anyway. But still, I'm like, why did you all even try that? Mitarashi, he's big. He's in big brain mode. And you know what? Everybody makes mistakes, Michelle. Even perfect people like Mitarashi make mistakes.
He's not perfect.
You know, we're all allowed mistakes. I think as long as we learn from our mistakes, Michelle, become better people. That's okay. He picks the King of Hearts. It makes me a little sad, but I remember that he too is human, like we all are.
I just remembered.
I'm getting deep. I'm having a little tear in my eye right now because I'm seeing the best boy, put the wrong card in the mouth in my head as I'm reading this. Tear goes down my face. I'm like, no, Mitarashi, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Bam.
You do get shot.
Of course it's wrong.
Because he's stupid.
He gets shot and he goes limp. He goes back. I'm like, well, I failed this route.
No.
I was
Fun
like,
fact.
that was fun.
No, he gets shot regardless, so don't feel too bad.
Oh, really? He gets shot anyway? Well, I'm just like, well, I gotta pick a new boy now. So I'm like, well, do I want the old man or do I want the gamer?
Does he get shot regardless? There's some extenuating factors that make me unsure if he gets shot or not.
Maybe I'll try to save him for the next playthrough. Yeah, the gun fires, he goes limp. We get some explosive insight. I guess now is the time Saki decides to think. And I guess we haven't figured out it's the Queen of Hearts yet, because it basically just has Saki go through like all the cards that they found. It's like it's an 8 of diamonds and a Queen of Hearts and a King of Hearts and yada yada yada. And it's like, it's Queen of Hearts! I'm going nuts. I'm like, it's Queen of Hearts! So I picked Queen of Hearts. Of course I figured it out. It's the Queen of Hearts. So we figured out it's the Queen of Hearts. And I think Hogstein, starts bragging about the Queen of Hearts. He's like, oh, that stupid idiot. 1 down, 6 to go. It was the Queen of Hearts. Ha 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 ha. And suddenly Mitarashi, that golden child, that golden boy.
Okay.
He stands up suddenly.
Yeah, I do remember now. He does get shot regardless, so don't feel bad.
He stands up suddenly, grabs the Queen of Hearts in that very heroic way that he does, and puts it in the hare's mouth. Ding, ding, ding. He gets it right. And everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah.
So it breaks down what the hell is going on. The fight between him and Shadow was all an act that somehow Mitarashi was able to pick up on. Shadow basically uses the excuse to fight Mitarashi to tell Mitarashi his plan to keep their phones on. So the whole exchanging phone numbers at the very beginning has purpose. Thank God. I was happy about that. Somehow during the fight, he hands Mitarashi a headset, which I thought was weird. I just thought that, he would just have his phone on, maybe like on speaker mode or something. But no, he hands him a headset, and somehow no one sees the headset. Like, I'm assuming this looks like, this is 2013. So this is like, I imagine one of those Bluetooth earpieces. This should be sticking out of his ear. Like, obviously, but he's got a headset. So he hears, basically, Shadow's got his phone on in the room the whole time while he's being dogged by Count Hogstein, and when Count Hogstein confirms the answer is the Queen of Hearts, he's like, oh, I got the answer, and does it. Mitarashi comments that he's good at acting because of his job, which, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Why would he have to be good at acting being an escort? Saki's all confused by this comment because she is a high school girl. Yeah. Remember, she's 16 in Japan.
Yep.
18 in the US version. Mitarashi just says, you'll learn when you're older. And I'm like, no, Mitarashi, don't keep making fun of me being a kid. No.
They shouldn't date each other is the issue. You shouldn't
I'm
date
in
each
my
other.
mind as I'm doing this. Every time he makes a joke about me being young, I'm laughing because I love the fact that this decision is the most awkward decision.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Mitarashi did actually get shot. How did he live? He picked up a metal serving platter and put it under his shirt somehow,
Yeah.
and nobody noticed it. I called foul on this one.
Yeah.
But that's the legit answer. Just I guess as we were going in the house, he was like, he is smart. He's smart.
Not
He's
really.
like, I'm gonna get shot. Yoink, puts a dinner platter or something under his shirt. And somehow that serving platter, I have doubts a serving platter would stop a bullet too.
Yeah, same.
But if it did, it would still hurt like hell and probably break some ribs.
Definitely.
But yeah, that saves him. Shido and Mitarashi then proceed to have their bro moment where they're like, dude, you totally decked me like super hard and it hurt, man. What were you thinking? They're like, yo, dude, you hit me in the stomach, man. We're like big dude bros now. Like, yo. And they're just like, yo. You know, I call those bro moments.
I think they should definitely date. That's confession on my end. Definitely was shipping them throughout each route.
You know what? I play a lot of video games, and if I can have a choice in a video game where I can have two bros just bro out, I always do that because, you know, I'm the ultimate dude bro too. You know, yeah, I get it.
I think that's actually maybe an aspect where you'll like Otome games. Because a lot of Otome games, this one especially, it's great because, like, you might expect that when there's, like, a harem sort of involved, that the guys would become, like, jealous of each other, but in a lot of Otome games, they're just, like, very good supportive friends regardless.
I'll look for more of these opportunities because I actually like that. By the way, best bromance in video games goes to Lavitz and Dart in Legend of Dragoon. I will always fight for that one. Anyway,
Okay.
I know you don't know that game, but it's a great game. Anyway,
Okay.
Hogstein's mad because they cheated, which they did kind of cheat, and I guess the rules slightly touch on this. If I go back to the rules, there is a rule they point out specifically. Communication with the outside is forbidden.
It's not the outside.
Does using your cell phone count as that? Nope, it doesn't. Not to the players. Hogstein's all mad though that they found a loophole in the rules and says he's gonna blow up the park. He's like, I've had enough of this. I'm blowing up the park. Saki blows up. Saki's mad. My favorite gimmick in the whole game. Where she gets mad, the screen glows red. And you can say, you know, fuck you, or you can just be like, cool, fair. I'm always gonna tell off the character.
Yeah, I think in all routes, like across all routes, there's only one time when it's not appropriate to get mad.
My hope, Michelle, my hope of all hopes is that a character I don't like, I hope Urabe, is standing like over a pit or something and says something to piss me off, and I just go, fuck you, and he just falls back. I want to be the cause of a death in this game through my anger.
God, it's so not funny how kind of close you are.
God, I can't wait. A treasure chest. Hogstein fucks off because the power of my anger is just too much for this super evil pig to stand. He's ashamed of himself. I told him off. Treasure chest appears on the table. The chest has a note that says 07, which I haven't figured out or have a clue yet where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
We just have this note now. So we're done. We beat the challenge. Good for us. Pats on the back. We got a new bromance brewing between Shido and Mitarashi. Mitarashi has proved he is the most intelligent member of the group. Group goes to the Alice in Wonderland themed restaurant nearby to eat food. Shirabe, he starts, kind of looking around as they're walking there. He's like, I'm just gonna wander over here now. Huh? What's he doing? Saki feels suddenly uneasy. So it's very obvious that he's being suspicious because Saki's feeling suspicious.
Yeah, if she picked up on it, then.
Yeah. They're all eating dinner, and for some reason, they are judging. Every one of them are judging how much food Saki is eating, which is
Yeah, it's
bullshit.
bad. It's bad.
They're all like, "Hey, Saki, you're eating like a whole big dinner bowl. What are you eating? Food? What are you doing?" It's like, shut up. Let the girl eat. She's traumatized right now, probably.
Also, she just like almost died. Let her eat.
Yeah, eat. I'm gonna eat tons of food if I survive a near-death experience. Literal spike ceiling was coming down her heads. By the way, I kind of glossed over it. The thing was like right on us by the time they figured out the puzzle. Is
Yeah.
the game like mentioned. So we're like near death at this point. Um, Saki suddenly gets a text from Uncle Keiji Inafune. Basically God. The god of this game.
Yeah.
So Keiji Inafune's god figure. She gets a text. I didn't write down what it said. I think it just said, "Hey, we're all okay. Hope you're all okay," or something like that. I don't know why I didn't write down what it
Basically.
said.
Can't wait until we get to the portion of the game where it's Uncle Inafune giving us romance advice.
I can't wait. I hope it's like terrible advice too. I hope it's like you got to yell at him and make him play hard to get or something. And I hope it's great. Um, Saki though, she can't shake the whole Shirabe wandering off on his own thing. So Saki decides to go look for Shirabe. She rounds a corner somewhere in the park, and Saki sees him talking to a monitor, one of the Hogstein monitors. Um, but she doesn't see exactly who's on it. She just sees that the monitor's on, and then sees it turn off right as she's rounding the corner, and Saki kind of goes, "Oh," and hides behind a corner, like, "Oh shit, don't see me." But then she calls out to him. So why did she hide? I don't know. So I get a choice. I can say, "You were late, so I went to find you," or I can be intelligent and say, "What were you doing?"
Yeah.
And Shirabe says, "Oh, just gathering info." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy."
Oh, you know what? That's very weird.
Yep. Gathering info for what?
No, you're playing Shirabe route contents right now.
Oh, did I mess up and go Shirabe route?
I don't think you're actually at the part that determines which route you end on, but
Mhm.
that scene is exclusive to Shirabe content.
I did have a heart bomb with Shirabe in the
Yeah, the
last
scene is
session.
different if you're playing Mitarashi content.
Oh. Okay. Well,
You have a chance to get onto a better route. Take this
no,
opportunity.
no, no. I've realized my mistakes, and I will be strictly Mitarashi going forward.
Oh, play Shirabe instead. He's better.
No, Mitarashi's a smart boy. He's a good boy.
He's not.
Mitarashi points out on the boat. So we go back to the boat. I guess we're all done eating. We go back to the boat, and Saki is oddly quiet. Mitarashi points it out because again, Mitarashi's the smartest person in their group.
He's not smart. He's just blunt.
You're being quiet. Nirabe says that I must be thinking about the man I love, and I am. I'm thinking about Mitarashi.
Damn it, Rabe. I'm gonna check this man off the boat.
Saki hears Mitarashi outside. Oh, so that comment doesn't really go anywhere. It's just trying to make Saki blush, I guess, because of Otome.
Mm-hmm.
They go back to their room for the night, and Saki hears Mitarashi outside her room, and he's talking to someone on the phone. What? And she's like, "Wait, who could he be talking to? We're all in our rooms. Why would you call someone if you could just talk to him on the boat? He has to be
Yeah.
talking to someone else outside the park,
Mm-hmm.
which is against the rules and will get us killed." Um, so I confront him outside my room. I say, I get a choice. I say, "Were you on the phone, or how are you feeling?" So Mitarashi's a smart man. I trust this man with everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to confront him about the phone. He must have a good reason. He's intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
I say, "How are you feeling?" He's like, "Ah, I'm good." I get a heart bomb. Hey, back on Mitarashi route.
No.
So I correct my Irabe mistake, or not my Irabe, Shirabe mistake. Saki decides to send a text about her concerns to Keiji Inafune. To God. I wrote down that we're basically praying to God through these text messages. It's like, dear God, I love Mitarashi. Please make me 4 years older so this is less weird.
Also, quick correction before the Otome people come for me later. I was misremembering. The route earlier with Shira Bay is similar to a different route later in the game. That one happens regardless of which route you're on. It's still neutral content. I was just confusing it with a later event, so
I feel like
preemptive correction.
I feel like if that minor of a correction is worthy of angering the Otome people, that I am number 1 on the hit list right now.
No, it's not that. It's more that, like, I'm disappointed in myself for misremembering the events, and I just...
Oh, no. No need to be. No. So we're on the correct route. We're good.
Yeah.
Whew.
We're still in neutral content.
My heart is coming back down to normal heart rate because I haven't messed up my playthrough.
Still not too late to abandon this route, though.
So Saki prays to God. Now it's break time. It's the daily life part of the game where I get to pick of all these good boys who the best boy is and hang out with them. So I picked Mitarashi because obviously he wants to ask about. I want to ask Mitarashi about the call. So I actually like this about the daily life because, like, I think in Danganronpa they're guilty of this. I think it's very rare in Danganronpa or other games that are not Otome that have this kind of system for them to directly reference the main story of the game during the daily life sequences. I'm very appreciative that the daily life actually incorporates what just happened in the game. She wants to ask about the call. That's great. That's all I need for this to ground me back to earth for this section.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't do anything with it because we just start talking about coffee instead, but great. We're grounded. We're in the world still. We're not. This isn't a separate world we're in. Great.
Yeah.
A+ for effort on that. Great. I want to ask about the call, but Mitarashi is bummed he was served coffee. He says it's too bitter. Saki tries it, and it's sickeningly sweet. So Saki, for whatever reason, just decides to dunk on Mitarashi. I'm like, leave the poor boy alone. He likes his coffee. He doesn't like coffee.
You know what? He negs her all the time. A little negging in return is fair game.
You know, flirtatious nag, or, pushback, Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Saki's just dunking on him for his wussiness toward coffee. She specifically calls him out for calling her a kid, but him being a chump about the coffee. And I get a heart bomb for it. Good, go me.
Yep.
Saki says that she finds this cute. And she completely drops the motive through this coffee conversation to ask about the phone call.
Yeah, she is an Otome game protagonist.
This is fair because he is such a studly stud that how can you think of anything but his studliness at a time like this?
No. Ew. No. I don't. Not this man. Not him.
To conclude, we have another flashback with this stupid locket that seemingly has no connection, but I'm sure is the answer to everything in this game. The mom and dad, so I think in the last flashback, it's just like a couple, like a kid saying, I want to go to the park, and then the mom's like, oh, hopefully your dad will be able to go, or something. It doesn't matter. The mom and dad are now taking the kids to the theme park. The dad feels bad that he always leaves his kid alone for whatever his work is.
Yeah.
And he leaves his kid alone with the mom all the time. And that's it. That's all that happens. So dad's guilty. He's got a job, I guess, and can't spend as much time with the kids, which is fair. And that's it. That's stage 2. Which I dogged on a lot of, but was a vast improvement over stage 1.
I mean, I'm apprehensive about you being on this route and continuing to like this game in a more favorable... Like, I think if it were any other route, you would say that each chapter gets better than the one before it. But considering the reasons why you like this one better than the last one, I don't know that you're gonna feel that way about Mitarashi's route.
I am committed that Mitarashi will prove to be the ultimate boy.
No, he's not the ultimate boy. He's not canon route.
Which one is Canon Ralph?
There isn't one really. I would say of the like starting cast, Shido is probably most close to canon, but there's a spoilers. There's a new boy that you unlock with New Game Plus, and I believe he is actually canon.
Really?
Yeah.
So, at any point, do I get a chance to date Count Hogstein?
Do you really want to know?
Not if it's spoilery.
Then I won't say anything.
All right. So we'll leave it. If I will say this, if I get a chance to ditch Mitarashi for Count Hogstein, I'll find that absolutely hilarious and we'll take it in a heartbeat.
Well, you can't. Ditching people isn't a mechanic in this game. Once you're on a route, you're on it. But there are other games where you can cheat on someone.
Oh, that's funny. If I get a chance, well, like you just said, I can't. But like, if I got a chance, if that was a thing, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat because that would be hilarious to me. Again, I don't think I'm playing this the right way with my decision making, but that's the way I have fun.
You've hit most of the important decisions correctly.
My motivations for picking the boy, or maybe not what's in line with what the expectation of Otome players to have toward these games are, but
yeah,
that's how I find my fun with this. Is to be ironic and to have a laugh.
Just FYI,
Mm-hmm.
just to be going in mind, stage 3 is the stage that determines your final route. So pay attention in this next one because it's more important than the previous two.
At what point in the game should I be expecting people to die?
Once you're on a route.
When I'm on a route.
Stage 4.
So everybody will be relatively safe through the next stage. Noted.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, as soon as somebody gets to die, whoo, I'll be having some fun. If I get a choice. Okay, that is all I have. Michelle, any last thoughts or comments?
Shirabe, best boy. Miyoshi, other best boy. Mitarashi sucks.
Oh, no.
Shido, I actually put above Mitarashi now that I've recently played his route. Wakasa is like, okay. I don't want to date him, but he's like not a horrible person, you know? So
maybe we should do a Michelle playthrough on the channel.
I don't know if I have a PSP emulator, but I don't know of any ROMs that are available online for Sweet Fuse, and I don't have a PS TV, so I'm not sure if I'd be able to stream it.
I have a PS TV, so that's how I was planning on streaming it. So maybe I'll do your playthrough.
Like, I could be in chat and tell you what to say, but...
There you go. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure this out. We'll think it through. Anyway, that was the other thing I got griped about by our number one fan. I didn't have an outro. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you like Raid Shadow Legends. Tell me who your favorite boy is in the chat below, and I'll tell you why it's Mitarashi. Follow us on...
If you say Shirabe or Miyoshi, you have my respect. Otherwise, fuck off. Anyways. Sorry, that's mean.
And follow
that's mean
us
to
on...
the other people.
This is fair. After a session of me trolling you about this, Michelle, you're fair to be like this. And follow us on Twitter in the description below.
Do we have Twitters?
We have Twitters. I'll put them in the description below if you want to be on it. If not, if you want to remain anonymous.
Yeah, it's fine. No, I tweet enough about Otome games for it to be my brand at this point.
So there's the outro. Thanks for your kind feedback, number one fan, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.